some financial goals can seem unattainable. For those looking to retire early or become financially free at a young age, it may seem like an impossible goal to achieve. Which is why I wanted to break down the 6 levels of financial freedom in today's video, so that you can focus on one level at a time, one goal at a time, and that way financial freedom doesn't seem so overwhelming or unattainable. We'll talk about each level or each stage of financial freedom and the steps to get to the next stage, to eventually become financially free. I am Tiffany Thomas with wealthytiffany.com, and I achieved financial freedom at age 38. So if you are looking to achieve financial freedom at a young age as well, I am here to help you out. Hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, and we're going to dive right in. I've seen quite a few different iterations of different levels of financial freedom, but the one that I like the most is from GetRichSlowly.com. It's JD Roth's blog. And you can check that out if you want to. But I've chosen to follow the 6 levels that he has chosen for financial freedom. So I'm going to follow his layout of each stage and just add things in that I think apply to each stage. All right, even before we begin with stage number 1, you start out at stage 0. And this one is called dependency. And it means exactly what it says. You are dependent on someone else. And we've all been at this stage at one point in our lives, at least one point, if not more. But when we were all born, we were all dependent on our parents to take care of us, not only financially, but in a lot of other ways as well. And later on in life, we hope to move out of this dependency stage. But some people may still be in this dependence stage. If you're spending more money than you actually earn, or that you have coming in, or if your debt payments outweigh your income. So to move out of this dependency stage, we need to create income for ourselves and stop spending more than we are earning. All right, let's move to stage number 1. And the first 3 stages are actually survival phases or stages. And then the next 3, the last 3, are going to be our thriving stages. So stage number 1 is solvency. And this just means that you have the ability to meet your financial commitments. So those debt payments that you have, you're able to meet those payments. You make those payments each month. And any expenses that you have, you're able to pay for those expenses. You reach this stage when you are no longer dependent on someone else for your financial obligations. And when you are no longer accumulating debt, accumulating bad debt because I have mortgages, I invest in real estate. So if it's something like that, that's a different scenario, but you're no longer accumulating bad debt, this credit card debt, or accumulating other debt that isn't making you money in the process. Some people reach this in their teen years, and some people never reach this phase. One way I would suggest to either move into stage number 1 or continue forward to the other stages is to start tracking your money. Be aware of where you are spending all of your money and how much money you have coming in. One way that I personally like to do that is by using a free app. It's called Personal Capital. You can hook all of your financial institutions to it, so all of your credit cards that you might have and your checking, your savings account. If you do have a mortgage, you can hook that to it, any retirement accounts that you have. So you can see all of your financial accounts in just one place. It is really, really nice, and it makes it really easy to track all of your finances because you can check this app, you can just open it up and it will refresh within a minute or so, and you can check this every day. And make sure to see that your bills are being paid on time. And maybe you forgot about a subscription fee and you can see that come out and think, oh, I need to cancel that subscription. So it's just a really nice, easy way to track all of your finances. And if you are interested in using Personal Capital, I'll leave my referral link below and you can get a free $20 to Amazon when you hook one of your retirement accounts to Personal Capital. All right, once you have enough income coming in to cover your expenses, even though you still may have debts, let's move to stage number 2, which is stability. And you reach this stage when you have paid off all of your consumer debt. So you are no longer getting out of control with your spending and swiping your credit card and not realizing how much money you are spending, and you aren't strapped for cash all of the time. You've realized the importance of managing your money well, and you start to establish an emergency fund, that amount that you have sitting in a savings account in case of any emergency that comes up. You also continue to have income coming in, And you may have some debt, like a mortgage, for example, but not the bad debt, the high interest debts, like credit card debt. You are stable with the amount that you are spending and saving. And one way to help you get to this phase is to be more intentional with what you're spending your money on and what you are saving your money for. And you aren't just swiping that credit card and spending on whatever, but you're really taking a moment and thinking, okay, is this a priority for me? Do I really need to be spending my money on these certain items? Or can I let these certain items go and pay off my debt so that I can continue to move up on the levels of financial freedom? Once you have that stability in your life, let's move to stage number 3, which is agency. This stage is free agency. So you have the ability to live where you want to or to work where you want to. You aren't thinking, I just need to work anywhere possible and collect any type of income because I'm so strapped for cash. That's no longer the phase we are in. You're thinking, all right, I would like to work in this type of field or for this company. And you have that agency to choose that. In this stage, you would have all of your debts paid off. So no more credit card payments that we are making, including that interest. We're just paying off that balance in full each month if we continue to use credit cards. But all of our student loans are paid off, and even your mortgage, unless, of course, you don't want to pay off that mortgage and you're putting that money towards some other type of investment, then that would work as well because you have the freedom to choose. This is your agency phase. Also, in this phase, you have your emergency fund set up and you have savings that if you wanted to quit your job for a short period of time, you would have the ability to do that. And some people call this screw you money. There's another term for it, which I'm not going to say, but it essentially just means you can say to your boss, screw you, I'm out of here. Although we wouldn't want to do that. We would want to do that professionally and not cut any ties that may be beneficial to us later. You never know. But you would have the option to say, you know what, I no longer want to work here, I'm going to quit. And then you would have time and you wouldn't feel strapped for cash to look for another job. This is an awesome phase to be in because you really feel like you do have choices, you have options, and you're not just stuck at that job that you really hate. The last 3 stages are the thriving stages. So we're no longer in that surviving mode, but we are switching our mindset to think, okay, how can my money help me build my wealth instead of just keep me secure and stable? How can it help me have that life that I truly desire instead of just it being a safety net for me? Let's move to stage number 4, and this one is security. In this phase, you feel secure with your money. You've started to invest your money so it's working for you now instead of you always working for the money. And this stage is really exciting because you now have enough passive income or investment income to cover your basic needs, which really does help you to feel secure. And you could stay in this stage if you wanted to. It would just be that your passive income would cover all of your basic necessities. A place to live, food to eat, a reliable transportation. So if you did want to keep things really, really simple, you could stay in this stage of security. And you would never have to work another day of your life if you just wanted the very basics, the very essentials. But let's say you do want to have some fun. Maybe you want to travel the world a little bit or just go out to eat with some friends occasionally. Or maybe you want to buy that really expensive dress that you've been eyeing. It's nice to have some of those extras once in a while. In this phase, you've learned to invest your money to create passive income. One way that I personally like to do this is to invest in real estate properties. I invest in buy and hold properties, and that just means that I have properties that are in good condition. I've put renters in them, and they are paying me monthly rent, so I'm collecting passive income each month. And granted, it's not fully passive because I do manage my own properties. I could get a property manager if I wanted to, but I don't mind spending my time doing that. So that is one way you could create passive income for yourself, and I have done some videos about this, so I will leave a link above and below, and you can check that out after this video is over. But if you do not have any interest in real estate, then another simple way to create passive income is in the stock market. You can invest very simply. You can just choose an index fund to invest your money in, and if you want to know my favorite, I did create a video about this, so I will leave a link for that above and below, and you can check that out later. But investing in the stock market is a really simple and hands-off approach to creating passive income. You can also start your own business if you want to, creating perhaps online courses or something that you wouldn't have to continue to trade your time for money. So that is another option. But in this stage, you figured something out that you want to do to create that passive income, and you have created it. So you could live off of that if you just wanted the basics. Let's talk about stage number 5, and this is independence. So completely the opposite from stage 0, which was dependence. And this is the goal for most people. This is the stage that I'm at right now. And if you're curious to know how I got to this stage, you can check out this video right here. But this one means that you can live off of your passive income or your investment income, and it would cover not only your basic needs, but your lifestyle that you're living right now. So it would make it comfortable for you. And this would be for the rest of your life. And if you are wondering, how in the world do I figure out how much I need to have invested in order to live off of that for the rest of my life, I did a video for you. I will leave a link above and below. You can check that out later on. But this is an amazing phase to be in because you can spend your time on what you really want to be spending your time on. And that could be still going to a 9-to-5 if you really love your job, or it could be building up your own business, which I'm doing, or it could be traveling the world once we can travel more places again. But in this phase, you have enough. You have enough for all of your basic needs and then some. So in stage 5, you have been really dedicated to investing your money and making it work for you. This is what has made the biggest difference in my life, is really focusing not just on saving my money, but investing it. And it can be done very, very simply depending on which path you want to take. But that's really got to be your focus with your money. Invest as much as possible, as soon as possible, and that will get you to this stage even quicker. The last stage is stage number 6, and this one is abundance. The final stage of financial freedom. So you have really made it if you have made it to stage number 6. You've got your essentials covered, plus your comfortable lifestyle, and then more. All from your passive income, those investments that you've made along the way, indefinitely. This means your money will never run out as long as you are alive, so you could leave it to your heirs if you wanted to, or donate it to a good cause, something that you really believe in. And not only that, while you are still alive, you can make those donations to charities that you really want to support. Or you could pay off your parents' mortgage. Or you could take your whole family on a cruise when we can start cruising again. You could take that month-long vacation with your spouse that you've been wanting to do to Paris. You have the time to create your dream business if you want to, or write your memoirs or your signature book, which is actually what I'm working on right now, so stay tuned for that. The possibilities are endless in stage number 6 because you do have that abundance. You're no longer worried about where you are going to get money to pay for your bills. You are no longer worried about making your mortgage payment. You're no longer worried about having your parents taken care of in case they run out of money. You can do more good in the world. It's entirely up to you when you are in stage 6, the stage of abundance. The possibilities are endless. So those are the 6 stages or 6 levels of financial freedom. And I'm curious to know, which one are you in right now, and what are you doing to work toward the next phase? So put in the comments which stage you are in so that we can help each other work toward the next stage. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit that little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.